Good morning, meteorologist Brian Wolf here on your Friday, October 17th to talk about our upcoming weekend and what you can expect in way of precipitation, possible thunderstorms, gusty winds, and much cooler weather. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. On the Doppler radar this morning, as you can see, a lot of the same. Not a whole lot going on here. More showers to the north, but this is the area right here that we are going to be watching throughout the next 24 to 36 hours as a low pressure is going to be developing, which is going to be pumping in moisture and energy, and then it will be moving in our direction. With that comes the possibility of severe weather. Now, a lot has been talked about over the last several days, and the yellow here on this map indicates the area that could see a slight risk of severe weather. Again, notice it comes up to about the Evansville area, but not much further than that. Now, that doesn't mean we can't see a couple of isolated severe thunderstorms here, but to be honest, this looks to just be an ordinary cold front coming through that's going to usher in some cooler air. Yes, there'll be a chance of thunderstorms embedded, but do I expect widespread severe weather like you've been hearing all over the internet the past week? No, I do not expect that. Let's look down on the floor. We're looking at the maximum wind gusts for Saturday afternoon. So around noon Saturday, we will see the winds start to arrive. Anywhere between 15 and probably 25 miles per hour in terms of wind gusts. Now, what's that going to do in terms of precipitation? The map that I'm standing on now is actually called precipitable water. And is what that is if you took a column of the atmosphere and you squeezed it all together and squeezed every single drop of water out, this would be how much is in each column of the atmosphere. The purples on this map actually indicate about 2 inches. So the whole column of the atmosphere from bottom to top is 2 inches in the purple area. So when we look at the precipitation forecast amounts, anywhere between 1 and 2 inches of rain, I don't buy into that. So this is just me personally. When I look at things, I'm settling between a half an inch, which would be on the really low side, and up to about an inch and a half. You could see an isolated spot, I think, of an inch and 3/4, but do I think you're going to see widespread amounts of 2 inches of rain? I really don't think so. And it's just solely because if we go back and look at the precipitable water, a lot of the computer models have been showing this area weakening as it moves through. So further to the south, down in southern Kentucky and Tennessee, you're seeing a lot more precipitable water in the atmosphere. So I think those rain rates can be higher. Unfortunately, right now, the modeling to me is indicating a little less than that. So half inch to about an inch and a quarter, I think that's about where we are going to fall. Now, this map right here is indicating the maximum wind gust on Sunday. This is starting to become the bigger weather story, especially for those of us that love fall. Widespread wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour and even some up to 45 miles per hour on Sunday. So again, secure anything you have outside that you do not want blowing away or breaking. Now, with that, ushers in some cooler air. Now, I'm going to show you this, and this is kind of wild to be talking about in October, but this is the wind chill map. So this is a modeled output for the wind chill for Sunday afternoon, and you can notice this yellow area is indicating wind chills in the mid 40s, and this is right in the middle of Sunday afternoon. So as far as I'm concerned, bring it on, right? So if you've ever watched a certain movie that talks about the sour sweet winds that come in October, that is exactly what Sunday will be. For today, though, we are looking at mostly sunny skies throughout the whole day, reaching a high right around 70, 71 degrees this afternoon. That wind is now switching from the northeast to the southeast at about 3 to 5 miles per hour. And as we get into the 7-day forecast, you can see it will be fairly warm tomorrow because ahead of that cold front, you get those southerly winds that bring in a lot more warmth and moist air. And then you can see Sunday, a high of around 61 and those gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour. And then we start introducing some regular chances of showers Tuesday and Thursday. Sunday night into Monday morning is an outside chance at a potential frost. We're monitoring that. And then Tuesday night into Wednesday, we are really watching that. That's also another chance for a frost. But again, first things first, we are really just looking at the next 24 hours, these storms that'll move through. It looks like after 6 p.m., anytime after 6 p.m. Saturday, you can see the more organized line of storms move through. Again, I'm not expecting anything over the top here, just nice and normal, so to speak, for thunderstorms. You will have some gusty winds. I mean, you're already having those throughout the day, anyways, the non-thunderstorm winds. So something to keep an eye on as we go forward. Otherwise, that's really what we're looking at. Those storms, by the way, on Saturday will be arriving earlier the further north and west that you are, because that's the way that the line will be oriented. And then later as you go off towards Louisville, Clarksville, New Albany, and Switzerland County. Otherwise, enjoy your Friday and prepare for some fall weather coming up this weekend.